All right, today we're going to talk about filing your taxes. When you have a job, your employer takes money out of your earnings each pay period for income taxes and sends it to the federal government. Individuals are expected to file tax returns annually, which means every year. Filing a tax return means completing forms to report your earnings from the prior year and to calculate how much more money in taxes you owe or how much should be refunded to you. You must file a federal tax return with the Internal Revenue Service, or IRS, by April 15th each year. Why file taxes? Taxes are used to fund the government and its activities. All U.S. residents and citizens who earn income are subject to federal income taxes, which generate income to help the government pay for such things as national defense, social programs, and building projects. Filing a return enables the government to keep track of your tax payments. So how do you file taxes? If you need to file a return, a 1040 EZ form is usually sufficient. If you're self-employed or own real estate, you need to file a different form. Use these tips in the sample forms on the next page to learn whether you need to file a return and to practice completing one. Please stay off your phones and listen. Number 1, find out whether you need to file. If you answer yes to one or more of these questions, you will most likely need to file a tax return. Did you have federal taxes withheld from your wages? Were you self-employed and did you earn more than $400? Did you earn tips that you did not report to your employer? Are you being claimed as a dependent on your parents' return? And have you earned more than $5,350 or received more than $850 from investments? If you have a combination of earnings and investments income, review IRS guidelines on the internet or with a tax accountant. Number 2, gather paperwork. You will need your W-2 wage and tax statements from your job. If you have interest income, you will need your 1099 INT statements. You should receive these from your employers and banks respectively. You will also need federal and maybe state tax forms. Fortunately, in Texas, we don't need a state tax form. You can get paper or electronic forms online and printed materials at many libraries and the U.S. post offices. Number 3, fill out the tax form. Use a calculator to compute the figures and copy numbers carefully from any worksheets to your tax return. If you need help understanding the directions, talk to a trusted adult or visit www.irs.gov, where you can find the answers to many questions. The IRS also provides free tax help. Call 1-800-829-1040. Free in-person tax preparation is available in many communities for low to moderate income taxpayers through the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. Call the IRS information line for further information. Number 4, check your information. Look over your return. Check that you entered your Social Security number and other figures accurately, that you identified the correct numbers on the tax table, and that your math is accurate. If you want your refund deposited into your account, check that you have entered your account number correctly. Attach your W-2 forms to the 10EZ form. Make a copy of your tax return for your files. Then finally, number 5, file your taxes. File your taxes by midnight on April 15th. If you file later, you may owe interest and penalties. If you're mailing in your return, see the instructions on the form for where to file. There is nothing to mail in if you're filing electronically and using your personal identification number.